Good morning. GM Artist Journal, September 21st, 2022, Berlin. My name is Adrian Pocobelli. The saga continues. Thank you all for the comments. It is incredibly encouraging. I keep saying this every day. Every day. I mean, I'm amazed that I'm doing this every day. And there are days I will take off. Because I think even doing a little thing like this, there are days but I want to see how far I can go. I feel like I'm at the gym where I was at yesterday, where my notifications are blowing up from all of the super nice comments. We'll come back. I saw this in the middle of the night. I woke up at 2:30 and Wasteman Goldminovich reappears on the scene. And I'm like, is that Terence McKenna? Is that Terence McKenna? Because if that's Terence McKenna, again, I was thinking to myself this morning, if I saw Terence McKenna in a gallery, even if it was on a screen, like IRL, in real life, I would just be like, when is your next opening? I can't wait to support this gallery. This is more like it. This is art I can relate to. So I don't know if it is Terence, but it sure looks like him, doesn't it? I mean, Terence done in the Rembrandt style, with an Adidas hoodie and a little doobie, as Terence would call it, hanging out of his mouth. It could be someone completely different. I'm curious to know. Feel free to weigh in. Looks like Terence to me, and even if it's not, I kind of hope it is anyway. Maybe I'll just keep thinking it is anyway. Anyway, so cool work. This show, there's too much to cover. So I'm going to again, I try and keep these things short, so I will continue here. Just a quick shout out to everybody who gave tweets. Thank you back. Martin Geek, really nice. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Really nice, message here. We got others. Look at this, varia.jpg. Remember the person the artist who is making, again, the minerals, the organic plants coming out of the inorganic cars, a classic surrealist image, playing with that in AI. Strange Things sent me a work from varia.jpg, so thanks to Strange Thing. We're going to look at that work very quickly as well. Thanks to Kappa for the shout out. Thanks to NVA for the shout out. Thanks to Purple Drank, who, again, an OG in this whole scene. There he is working on his piece as he's watching Artist Journal. And a lot of people follow Purple Drank, as far as I understand. So anyway, thank you all. Lorna Mills just thanking me for that too big of a purchase that I made there, but no regrets. That will go fabulous in this museum that I'm constructing. So anyway, thanks to the shout outs. Speaking of museums, another portrait here. I'm trying not to buy these, okay? And I basically have to stop anyway. I have big tax payments I have to make. So I keep telling myself this, but this is the last kind of big purchase. But I saw it in my mind's eye, this myth image that went for auction yesterday. I just saw this. I have the double portrait. Maybe I can quickly show you very quickly. And then we'll actually take a close look at that piece because there's something kind of special. I have this double portrait here and I had this other portrait here. And I just thought I could put this one in the middle and then these on both sides. Maybe that's just rationalizations on my side, but I just saw that. And again, this striking white background on this double portrait here. So anyways, I want other people to get in because I actually saw a bit of a sad tweet here, and then we'll get back to the actual piece because there's some important things going on in it. One day I will own a one-of-one myth. I actually felt a little bit bad there. So anyways, you guys jump in. I'm not guaranteeing I'll never jump in again because, you never want to guarantee that, but it's sort of like the rat cloaksies, let other people get their share. I just wanted to point this out, though, for you close myth followers. Look at how rough this is. So I consider this a bit of experimentation in Procreate. I'm sure it's in Procreate. And that's, again, there's kind of a series here. Look at this. So Myth is playing with these beautiful pencils and brushes that you can get in Procreate. And look at that, leaving, so just very interesting experimentation. Again, leaving kind of things unfilled here. So I just wanted to point that out in case you missed it. And it seems like he's combining pencil tools, for lack of a better term, and brushes. So again, just an awesome piece by the Myth. Look at how close you can get to these things. So anyways, you see the roughness. So I just wanted to point that out because that was interesting. Also another auction, and this was another thing. There's a bit of a bidding war yesterday. Luckily, like I was kind of ready to get off the train, but luckily it didn't go too far. But it started basically at 65. Then I jumped in trying to scare everyone away with 100, which didn't work at all. And then it went up 5 each time, and then it ended at 130. So anyway, so a bit of a bidding war. It luckily didn't get out of control. Lucky for me, maybe not lucky for other people. But, you know, again, props to everybody who bid. And again, I hope you get your one of one soon. I'm trying to step back in, you know, I'm doing it for museum purposes, I keep telling myself. But really, it's time to let other people get in. I just wanted to show this auction that our friend Gabby Walter, the Mickey Mouse painter, kind of like the satire or whatever you want to call it, appropriation with what looked like 16th, 17th century paintings. He put an auction out on this work, The Rain, a one of one. And I just want to show you how time is also an issue over money. It's sometimes like you can get in on these auctions, like if you're willing to just play things, like you're willing to just stick around longer. You'll notice, you know, strange thing, again, our small community here, Mr. Blonde, I recognize most of these names. Vincent Van Gogh made a bid for 50. And then Hologram Gallery came in at the last minute here, or pretty late in the day, and put it at 51 and walked away with it. Probably if Vincent Van Gogh had been at his computer, he probably would have put 55 or 60 or something. You know, so interesting. Just how you can play the time angle is my point here, as much as the financial angle with these auctions. Huge opportunities in the auctions, especially with the lesser known artists, or with, you know, not the super top tier, whatever you want to call top tier in your mind. Cool work by Purple Drank, the work he was working on, and you see the Myth here. So back to the culture, and they look like they're freestyling here while Myth is looking like he's at some sort of stag party or something where he is being fed alcohol. What do they call that? Not a hash, but when you're at college, not a stag, but anyways, the word escapes me now, but you can see one of those crazy parties. Cypher FBG, Pepe joins a freestyle session, so a hilarious work and a cool work. He's one of my favorite Pepe artists, so which is why I collect him. And also, so if you're looking to get a work of Purple Dranks on Ethereum, it's now with the Manifold XYZ contract, and they're basically free. They are free. If you dig it, grab one for yourself. Who knows how long this will go for? So you follow the link, and you connect your MetaMask if you're on Ethereum, and the fees should be low. Again, I still haven't minted my work from yesterday, but I'll likely do that today. Total claims so far, 146. Let's just reload this. 178. So you might want to get in because he might close this soon. And I think you can do 3 per wallet. So if you're only paying pennies now on Ethereum, that's exciting. 8Bidoo shows up on Object, another Purple Drank work just for illustration. So now all of your 8Bidoo works are on Object, and they're really nicely displayed with this white frame. So I'm incredibly excited about that because I really like the 8Bidoo platform, just the idea of putting these 8x8 pixel works, and then they get blown up and shown really nice. Brilliant. And good job, Object, of integrating them. They're really good with that. New work by Strange Thing, and again, this market in AI is just kind of really strong, as we're going to see in a second here. Really cool piece. I really like this. Is this Gucci? I should know this, but some, super designer pattern here that we all recognize from those purses when we go to European cities. And with some, I don't know if this is a sleeve tattoo or just a sleeve of some kind. Again, we're back to this. Is this AI fashion? Is this AI fashion? Because again, we're seeing pretty interesting breakthroughs using AI, just stuff you'd never imagine. Unless, maybe Strange Thing is actually a fashion designer genius, or he knows how to use AI really well. Look at this. Offer 500 by Clown Vamp, patron of AI and AI artist, accepted. So 16 minutes after minting. 500 Tezos, $750. So a very hot market here, at least for the Tezos scene. So very impressive. And a really nice looking work. He also released this other one with the same pattern. I believe that's Gucci. I should know these things, but I've never bought Gucci, so maybe I will one day. But anyway, that's not the point here. So another great work, and let's just look at this. The market for this edition of 5, and this also 100 Tezos each. So another 500 Tezos for Strange Things. So making bank, and deservedly. I mean, his AI works really stand out, and I'm just so thrilled that we can just pay attention, and that, frankly, that he just sent me a work. I mean, that's how kind of local this is, and I'm just so excited by all of this. And again, for AI art, if you ask me what's going on, I mean, there's a lot of great AI artists, but his name would be the first one I'd think of, oh, you should check him out. So, again, Berlin Art Fair, I didn't see anything, and maybe there's something there, but I'm just saying we're very lucky here to be going on, to be having this conversation thanks to the artists who are contributing and everything. So Strange Thing, also a thank you for sending me this work here. Super nice. And from Varya.jpg, who also sent some nice comments. So good looking user interface on the car here. It looks like a British car. And again, this juxtaposition of organic and inorganic, classic subject matter. So thank you very much. A beautiful piece. And again, this raw AI idea, this idea that maybe there shouldn't be human intervention, which I find quite provocative in a good way, just gets you thinking. And I assume that's what's meant by raw AI. Continuing on, more AI off Umberto Boccioni's. He has a great title on it. Is it the unique forms of continuity? I was going to bring this up. Let me just quickly bring up this famous statue, Futurist, for those that don't know it. We got the Italian here. Let's look. Met unique forms of continuity in space. So there is an AI homage to this very famous work, Futurist work by Umberto Boccioni, who put out a very radical manifesto. If you're looking for some interesting modern art reading, and the Futurists, very briefly, I always see them as kind of like the Italian response to Cubism. And you can see that in, this almost looks like a Giacomo Balla painting very quickly. So again, I'm trying to keep these short, but I know you guys like the Giacomo Balla. I know you guys like the art history too, so we're always trying to balance just kind of quality of what we're talking about here with quantity of time. I'm consciously trying to make this fast. He has a famous work of cars. Those are some of my favorite. Yeah, like this one. The car has passed abstract speed. So you see just kind of like these abstractions here. I'd like to make this bigger, but Okay, we can do it. So this is classic futurist work. Again, forms in motion, okay, movement, speed. And you could almost see GIFs and the dynamism that you see in NFTs as kind of being somewhat pre-seen, for lack of a better word, by the predecessors, kind of this intuitive, thinking about motion, as that's something now we see regularly in NFTs. Now let's go back to where we were here. So a nice homage by Califo to Umberto Boccioni, unique forms of continuity. And you can see here, I'm very sure he is using that sculpture as inspiration and making different AI pieces. Exactly. A study in form and motion through the use of AI, a tribute to the great sculptors Umberto Boccioni, Henry Moore, Auguste Rodin, Osip Zadkine. I've never heard of Zadkine. I'm not a sculptor expert by any stretch, though. So maybe he's combining. This is another interesting thing. I actually have a series which I don't talk about much. What is that called even? Is it not combines? I'll go back to it another time. But where I'm combining different representations of paintings, of famous paintings, but mixing them all together. So, what you find on Google Images and then combining them all. The name even escapes me. That's hilarious. We'll come back to that, I am sure. I wonder if that's what Califo is up to here. If it sounds like it. Who knows? But very interesting. I mean, this looks kind of Rodin-ish. This looks like Boccioni. So interesting. Very quickly, a work by Metadreams, who some of you might know. I think he's pretty young. This just came out, and it's, one of these. So one of these songs with NFTs, which we're seeing, we saw Adelia put out a work like that. And this is Metadreams' page, and he hasn't released too much recently. Although, actually, recently he's put out a little bit, but he took a bit of a break. I'll show you, I collected these, maybe 3 months ago, and they actually impressed me a lot. And I think he's 21. Let me just... So again, you see this kind of one person against an oppressive system is the vibe in a lot of his works, justice with money and, just a nice little commentary of life, the downward, thumbs up. Buy for $350, edition of 15. He has one more here. Let's see if it loads up properly, this one. So a CEO, again, taxes, money, kind of a corrupt system is basically Metadreams' thing. Again, 2 Tezos. So very good deals there. Metadreams. And now Weblinks also pointed out this really interesting artist, I guess out of Argentina, La Delma. She's out of Argentina, and nice find by Weblinks. In a weird way, reminds me of these woodcuts from Japan in the 19th century with the kind of, just the style. So nice, interesting find. Looks like all sold out here. So not entirely sold out, but it looks like a strong market. So just a kind of cool find. Shout out to Weblinks for finding that. And a one of one by Tradscape. Now, Tradscape does the music for this podcast. I bought that NFT 4 months ago, thinking when I was thinking of doing an audio podcast. Anyway, he put out one of one kind of pixel art work. I think he sent it probably to one of his collectors here. And he has all these, so he did this, I don't know if it's effects hash or what, but generally what he does are these kind of cool, I mean, these are some of my favorite works, actually. This kind of combines, I actually prefer the ones, I mean, that's a cool work, but I like these ones really are some of my favorite pixel works. So by Tradscape, really, really, really cool. And here's another one. They're pretty expensive, as you can see. Like so kind of before and after of a tree landscape. Beautiful, beautiful pixel works. Again, looks like an Atari type pixel treatment. Some of his earliest work. So show it to Tradscape. Quickly on the market here, these were sold, I mean, some of these sketches sold for 10 that I did, these SH101 sketches. So thank you to Shilly the Kid, bought both of these. So I'm just thrilled about that. I mean, to see that kind of action on secondary for 15. Thank you to Shilly the Kid from the Pixel Art Sketchbook. And other than that, is that everything? So is it Terence? We shall see. And again, thank you for joining me. I'm going to add more. Actually, let me just very quickly show you 8Bidoo, if possible here, how it's showing up, because now it'll show up in your, so all these 8Bidoo works, 8-Bit Nature series. So I'm actually going to list these as well. So too much fun. I am so thrilled that these are back on, that these are on Object. And with that, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.